8/7 Central on ABC.
Season, and America's most popular online service makes a mistake with a woman's wallet. And a KKK rally just north of Gainesville. Stay tuned, the news is next.
This is the award-winning News Channel 27 at 11.
How well are internet service companies protecting your money? One woman finds out the hard way. Good evening, I'm Bob Trotter. America Online has millions of customers across the country, and you may be one of them. A local AOL subscriber got her bank account deleted when someone made the wrong entry at AOL. And the very same thing could happen to you. ABC News Channel 27 Sandra Edmond explains how it happened.
They bounced my electric check. Yeah, this is financially devastating for me.
Catherine Cantrell describes a consumer's worst nightmare. It started when she called for her checking account balance.
And I knew something was drastically wrong, so I called the bank and talked to them, and they said AOL Shop Direct has went through your account. I said, okay, for how much? Well, $170.08 5 times.
But she hadn't bought anything from AOL. In fact, when she contacted AOL, they said they had no record of the transaction and that they'd investigate. But in the meantime, Capital City Bank was charging her for non-sufficient funds, putting her further in the negative.
I don't understand their accounting system, because once somebody's account is minus $600, why are they continually charging and allowing more stuff to come through? They should stop. They should send the cops. Something.
Capital City Bank said all 5 charges were definitely from AOL.
And in this case, we knew it was there were errors because of the authorization numbers. We knew that it was a pretty obvious error. So that's why we refunded money fairly quickly.
Cantrell is glad this nightmare is over and hopes no one else will have to go through what she did. In Tallahassee, I'm Sandra Edmond for News Channel 27.
And by the way, the only reason AOL had Cantrell's card number is because they automatically deduct her $20 service fee from her account every month. AOL is investigating the incident and says if they are at fault, they'll have to repay Capital City Bank. More than 30,000 Seminole fans packed into Doak Campbell Stadium today. They just wanted to say thanks for FSU's first ever undefeated football season. Today's celebration highlighted the love affair Tallahassee has with their beloved Seminoles.
As members of Florida State's national championship team came into Doak Campbell Stadium today to celebrate their undefeated season and national title, they were greeted by a packed West stands full of fans waiting to thank them.
They've gone through adversity, but they have shown that they are a national championship caliber team, and I'm just proud to be a Seminole.
We've been here for about an hour and a half so far, and it came really early, and just hanging out with the fans, having a great time.
Governor Jeb Bush came out to show his support for FSU and says in the Sunshine State, football is king.
It just brings the community together. People get excited about it. I think it focuses attention on our great university. I think it ought to be a regular occurrence that the national championships stay in our state, and also that we win the Super Bowl.
The national championship celebration here in Tallahassee shows the love affair that the fans of Florida State had with their football team. And now the Seminoles have their second national title in the 90s, and they're the team of the decade.
If people wonder what athletics can do for a town, or can do for a state, or can do for a university, here's a pretty good idea of what athletics means to a university.
I think everybody's very happy. Our admissions people are happy because a number of people are paying attention to FSU, and we're getting some great new applicants for the university, and an incredible ripple effect.
Matt Stitzinger, ABC News.
To reiterate what Coach Bowden said, one of the good things about winning a national title is it's good for the athletics as well as the entire university community. A local daycare director is losing her job when the school year ends. In a story we first aired Friday, we reported it's because of differences between April Penton and the leader of the Episcopal Church of the Advent in Tallahassee. Priest Jim Hobby recently decided to let Penton go when school is out this year. That left some parents outraged. Today, Hobby met with some of them to explain what happened and hear their concerns.
There's a personal conflict here. As a man of God and as a teacher, I should think there would be a middle of the road so that we can do what is best for our children and not for ourselves.
We plan on registering our son. He's 3, and we'll register him and expect that we'll have a good school next year one way or another.
I think we're missing the point a lot tonight in that we're talking about why things have happened and what someone said to so-and-so, and it's done. We ought to just go on, and the church is going to survive. The school is going to go on. It's going to be a wonderful school. April did a great job, and it's going to continue.
Penton was not at this afternoon's meeting. Ku Klux Klan members rallied in downtown Lake City today and came face-to-face with a large number of counter-demonstrators. The Klan's annual rally in Lake City drew 24 Klan members, and more than 75 counter-demonstrators met in a downtown park. Extra police were on hand, and they did have to separate the two groups several times. Words were heated, but none escalated to physical attacks.
And that's what we are. We are proud of the white race, and we have a right to say that.
I don't agree with what's going on here, but I can sympathize with the NAACP for the fact that this has gone on for many, many years.
Organized by
the counter-demonstration was organized by the NAACP, and others who stood on their side were Lake City residents. The grandmothers of 6-year-old Elian Gonzalez are back in New York tonight after talking with Attorney General Janet Reno about getting Elian returned to Cuba, but relatives in Miami say he belongs here, and the case looks to be headed to court. More from ABC's Lauren Rogers.
In a whirlwind of lights and cameras, two bewildered grandmothers came to Washington to appeal to the Attorney General for the return of Elian Gonzalez to his father in Cuba. The women met for less than an hour behind closed doors with Janet Reno. The Attorney General has been publicly supportive of their position, backing the ruling of the Immigration Service to return the child to his father. In a handwritten statement to Reno, the grandmothers pleaded for Elian's return, saying this would honor his mother's memory. The letter also stated the women's desire that they be allowed to visit their grandson in Miami. The meeting was organized by the National Council of Churches, which has been pressing for a reunion of father and child.
The Attorney General showed enormous compassion for these two courageous women. And there was a long opportunity where they simply talked back and forth with each other.
In a statement released by the Attorney General's office after the meeting, Reno said she explained to the women that the matter is now in federal court, but that she will seek to resolve the standoff as quickly as possible. Elian's Miami relatives continue to challenge the INS ruling in court, saying his mother gave her life seeking freedom in the U.S. and he should be allowed to remain in Miami. In the meantime, anti-U.S. demonstrations were held again today in Cuba. Lauren Rogers, ABC News, Washington.
No word on whether the grandmothers will visit Elian in Miami. Family members say if they do, they'll hear Elian say he wants to stay in the United States. Another high-profile immigration case ends with a reunion in the United States. Two children were separated from their mother when they were sent back to Haiti earlier this month. They were among 400 Haitians trying to reach the Florida shores. Their pregnant mother was one of the few allowed to stay because she needed medical attention. There have been several protests for several weeks in comparisons to that dispute over Elian Gonzalez's right to stay in the U.S. Some say Haitians are not getting the same consideration. Power plants may be dangerous to Florida's manatees. Experts say the creature, which needs warm water to survive, may have become too dependent on water warmed artificially. They fear some animals that have grown used to waters discharged by electric power plants may not have the instinct to migrate south during cold weather. And with some of those plants closing, they would stay close by and die in winter waters. Meteorologist Mike Nichols joins us now from the First One Forecast Center with the latest. And Mike, aren't you glad you're not in the water tonight?
That's right, a little chilly, but man, a tea time would have been great today. No pun intended with the manatees there, because it was nice today. Temperatures up near 60 degrees with some sunshine. Let's go to the radar, Doppler 27, put it into motion. A good line of showers, maybe even some thunderstorms there, just now starting to enter into the panhandle of Florida. But a wintry mess north in North Georgia tonight. In fact, an ice storm warning is in effect. So if you've got plans to travel to North Georgia, ixnay to that, I recommend, because it's nasty. And serious power outages possibly tomorrow with some power lines falling as a result of that glazing. It's also now ice storming in parts of South Carolina over top of 3 inches of snow there. But just some light rain showers in central Georgia. Tomorrow we don't see any snow here, but it's still rather mild. We start out in the mid-40s, increasing chances for rain, and temperatures come up too. Highs tomorrow near 68. If you're traveling to Jacksonville, I'll be back a little bit later to have that forecast for the AFC Championship game tomorrow, and as well as our weather for the rest of the 7 days. Bob?
All right, thank you, sir. Still to come, new treatment for those with spinal cord injuries. And the race is on, and the finish line is curbing drug use. We'll explain just ahead on ABC News Channel 27, where news is first.
The new two-wheel drive Jeep Grand Cherokee offers impressive power and handling. And with a special introductory lease of just $299 a month, it's no wonder everyone's going out of their way to get a look at it. The $299 a month Grand Cherokee lease.
Pay off your holiday shopping with Eero.com and win.
Sorry I'm late. Stanley?
Excuse me, sir. You see?
The Integra from Acura. Go places. Lease the Integra today at your local Acura dealer.
Are the comics here yet?
Nope, just the front page. And leisure. Thanks.
Remind you of the way you get phone service?
Sports is here.
Getting everything from different places? Well, now you don't have to. With Sprint Solutions, you can get local service, our best calling features, plus 100 minutes of any distance, anytime calling. All for one flat price, just $30.95 a month. Call 1-8771-SOLUTION and get it all from one place with Sprint Solutions.
My pants used to get baked on mess, but now they sparkle. What's my secret? Boston Market.
At Boston Market, we're cooking up dinner so you don't have to. Try our delicious low-fat turkey meal for only $4.99. For a limited time, you can get our low-fat turkey meal with a full serving of our delicious rotisserie turkey, steamed vegetables, and garlic dill new potatoes, all with just 4 grams of fat and for just $4.99. Boston Market. Dinner, it's done.
Some high-speed efforts to fight drug use in Orlando today. Mary Lou Retton, Kathy Ireland, and Yankees pitcher Orlando Hernandez were among celebrities taking part in today's Race Against Drugs. 30 finalists in pint-sized race cars vied for $200,000 in scholarships. Race Against Drugs is a national program that teaches kids and parents about the dangers of drug and alcohol abuse. A new cell transplant technique could one day help reverse the effects of paralysis. In your Health Beat tonight, ABC News Channel 27's Tammy Robicani tells us about that and more.
For the 200,000 to 400,000 people with spinal cord injuries, extensive rehabilitation therapy is the only treatment currently available. But new research from the Washington University Medical Center in St. Louis may offer a new option. Their cell transplant technique uses embryonic stem cells to help reverse the paralysis caused by spinal cord injuries. A study of 2 paralyzed rats, one with the transplant, the other without, shows dramatic results. The technique may one day help reverse the effects of paralysis in humans. Roughly 50 million Americans have high blood pressure. Now, an age-old technique may help them let off a little steam. Researchers from California and China say stress relief is only a few pinpricks away. It seems acupuncture lowers high blood pressure by activating a group of nerve cells called the endorphin system. Since acupuncture is virtually painless and free of side effects, it may eventually prove to be a valuable tool for treating hypertension and other heart-related conditions. Antibiotics can help our bodies fight infection, but sometimes they cause an upset stomach, even diarrhea. In the process, if this sounds all too familiar, here's some good news. Relief may be only 16 ounces of yogurt away. Researchers in Pittsburgh find antibiotic users who eat 2 daily servings of yogurt for 8 days cut their incidence of diarrhea in half. It seems the active cultures in yogurt are the key. They help our stomachs function normally under the strain of antibiotic use. With your Health Beat, I'm Tammy Robiconti, ABC News Channel 27.
And up next, Mike Nichols will tell us what kind of temperatures to expect the rest of this weekend and the building blocks for the castle. Ice blocks, you'll see them. Ahead on ABC News Channel 27, where news is first.
You've spent a full day at work, and now it's time for dinner.
This chicken is just ready to pop in the oven.
Those ready-made meals from the grocery store are fast and easy, but are they safe? ABC News Channel 27 checks that ready-to-eat meal deal to see if you're getting more than you bargained for.
It was surprising.
See if you're serving a ready-made risk. Join Steve Ring and Tammy Robocanti Tuesday at 6 and 11 on ABC News Channel 27, where news is first.
On the next home improvement, a teeny Taylor comes to visit.
You ready to spend the weekend with me and Uncle Tim?
The tool man gets all riled up.
After our tea, maybe we'll take the corgis out for a walk and a wee-wee.
When Tim's biological clock starts ticking.
Let's have a daughter. This is a child, not a Corvette.
But I wouldn't love her any less.
Jill calls the timeout.
I think it would be better for all concerned if you didn't father any more children.
If I took it seriously every time you said no, we wouldn't have any kids.
On the next home improvement.
Monday at 7.
Hello, I'm Sheriff Larry Campbell. My deputies are looking for some good kids.
And I'm Myra Monroe, ABC News Channel 27. We're teaming up to give good kids the credit they deserve.
And if you're doing the right thing, we're going to find you and give you some good stuff.
We'll also tell your story on TV. Watch for it during Children First on ABC News Channel 27 at 6. Now, if you want to nominate someone, email or call me at 893-3127.
Good behavior does pay off. We'll make sure.
Friday. Your teenager is hitting the road, and you're worried.
I ask God for strength.
ABC News Channel 27 will show you a controversial idea that will let you know if your teen is reckless behind the wheel. If you're the parent of a young driver, you need to know about traffic tattletales. Join Steve Ring and Tammy Robocanti Friday at 6 and 11 on ABC News Channel 27, where news is first.
Brought to you by Dodge. In a perfect world, everything would be different.
It is a little bit cool out there tonight.
A little cool, but not too bad for a January day.
Not as bad as it is up north.
Oh, man, and no white stuff either. Take a look at this. Now you know why you love it here, folks. Look at this. Snow. Yes, it's been snowing in the south today. Chattanooga, 3 inches of snow today. Nashville, snowing there as well earlier today, but not now. And it's snowing now in Greenville, South Carolina, and with ice on top of that, as well as an ice storm. In fact, all of North Georgia under a severe ice storm warning. Not here, though. Take a look at Skycam. We're looking good. You don't see any white stuff there. Looking toward the flyover, just a few white lights and dry streets. We've had some high clouds in over the area. The moonbeams popping through in some places, but clouds will be increasing tonight. Here's your forecast. First forecast, courtesy of Mike. That's me. Good evening. How are you? 44 overnight. And not too bad for a January overnight low. Normally we're about 38 for this time of year. 10% chance for rain showers late tonight. And then rain chances increasing throughout the day tomorrow. Come up to about 60% all in all throughout the course of the day. You could possibly hear the rumble of thunder as well. All right, well, let's put the surface map into motion. High pressure with associated cold air here. And then a little weak low pressure center getting cranked up here. And moisture coming in off the Gulf of Mexico. Warm front passed through earlier today, so the low temperature bottomed out at 27 degrees here early this morning, and then temperatures come up quite nicely today with some sunshine popping through the high clouds. Meanwhile, another Arctic front makes its way southward, so the cold air combined with the moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico making for a pretty terrible wintry mess all in through the southeast, but not the deep southeast where we are. We're sitting pretty nice on the warm side of that warm front. 63 in Miami this hour, 31 in Atlanta with freezing rain falling there, as well as freezing rain falling in Marietta, suburb of Atlanta, as well as Athens, Georgia. Just now beginning to snow in Raleigh, North Carolina. 25 degrees in the nation's capital this hour, -6 up in Burlington, Vermont this hour, 15 in Bismarck, very nice, 69 in Houston. Temperatures generally in the mid-30s in Salt Lake City, 41 in Seattle, 57 Los Angeles tonight. All right, here's the satellite loop, last 6 hours. Pretty good stream of moisture, Pacific moisture as well. Some Gulf moisture coming in on weak southerly winds, but cold air to the north. Of course, all these clouds here, not raining out of all of them or not snowing out of all of them, but radar, here's your latest radar. Pretty good line of showers, maybe some thunderstorms starting to develop here, now moving into the Panhandle. We'll see showers develop even more out ahead of the front in this weak wave tomorrow. But freezing rain is the orange, and then the snow north of there. And they're really watching out in North Georgia tonight with an ice storm warning in effect. It's slow to move out as that cold air slowly erodes away we'll see some rain turning into, rather the ice storm turning into rain showers. Of course, snowing tomorrow as well around the lakes. We see some showers here and then a reinforcing cool shot for later in the week. Now, you're going to Jacksonville. Here's your forecast for tomorrow. Some showers possible. Take the garbage bag with you. Keep it in your purse. You're in your pocket. Pull it out in case you need a shower. But I think all in all, the game should remain rain-free. But tomorrow night and into Monday, that's another story for Jacksonville. So pretty mild for January. Nice day for a championship game. Let's go Jaguars. And then there's your 7-day planner. Best chance for rain, I think, Sunday. And then we cool down as some fronts come through later in the week. Temperatures in the 20s, upper 20s Thursday. And then, so let's call that a sunshine sandwich. Chances for rain on either end, sunshine in the middle. How's that?
Doesn't look too bad for winter.
Okay.
Well, in sports, one last party for college football's national champions. More on the celebration at Doe Campbell Stadium. And speaking of celebrating, that's just what Steve Robinson and his team are doing after upsetting North Carolina. Sports next on ABC News Channel 27, where news is first.
The #1 drama on television is on the WB this weekend.
Red line, switch, shot, hit the 6 switch. 100, time, clear. Wait, someone needs to take a risk. We are in 7 cc's. You are not going to die tonight, you hear me?
Friday. Your teenager is hitting the road, and you're worried.
I ask God for strength.
ABC News Channel 27 will show you a controversial idea that will let you know if your teen is reckless behind the wheel. If you're the parent of a young driver, you need to know about traffic tattletales. Join Steve Ring and Tammy Robocanti Friday at 6 and 11 on ABC News Channel 27, where news is first.
It's a hair-raising week of Hollywood Squares.
Island! And the block has no stone.
That doesn't sound like you just passed one. This week, Whoopi welcomes Marie Osmond.
I'm not wearing
The lovely Miss America, Heather French.
Thank you.
And Richard Simmons.
Do I look okay? Am I ready for my close-up?
Miss America's going, this ain't the kind of show I signed on for.
Monday at 7:30 on ABC News Channel 27.
I used to be a class clown. Now, I'm learning to be a real one. I take a class at the circus. It's not just about being silly. It takes a lot of discipline and concentration. You really have to focus on what you're doing, or you might mess up. When I make mistakes, I know I just have to go on. Encourage children to learn lessons beyond the classroom. Put children first.
You buy Dodge. In a perfect world, everything would be different.
And tonight we start with basketball, and the Seminoles are looking pretty good.
They did. They were looking very good when they started out the ACC schedule. They started out 2-0, and they kind of had a slump there. They lost their last two. Today, a big game in Chapel Hill against North Carolina Tar Heels. Turned out pretty well for Steve Robinson and company. The Florida State Seminoles look like legitimate contenders after starting out 2-0 in the ACC. Well, that start seemed like a distant memory after the team went on to lose their next two. Today, the Noles had a chance for redemption as they paid a visit to the North Carolina Tar Heels. Heels lead the all-time series 25-4, but UNC has been struggling lately. They had lost 5 of their last 8 heading into today's game. Second half, Noles up 6. Damus Anderson hitting the three-pointer from the wing. 59-50 Seminoles. Florida State up 6 now. Julius Peppers with the big block. Joseph Forte tracking it down and throwing it through. 65-61 Seminoles at that point. Tar Heels cut the lead to 3 when Damus Anderson with the steal and then the great play to save the ball from going out of bounds. Then runs the floor, gets the ball back, points and the foul. He would convert the free throw, and Steve Robinson's pretty pumped up because his team leads by 7. 68-63 Florida State off the Noles turnover. Forte to Peppers for the layup and 1. Florida State leading by 2 after he knocked down the free throw. Final seconds, Heels down 2 points. Shot is blocked, scramble for the ball ensues. Ron Hale steals it from Forte and then has the presence of mind to call a timeout and ices the game. The Noles win 76-71, and Steve Robinson told us that his team finally played 2 complete halves.
We played a consistent 40 minutes of basketball today, and you know that's what we have been trying to get to. And the big thing with us as a basketball team, being healthy enough to play a consistent game. Now we got to try to put games together. we'll celebrate, enjoy the night, but after that, it's getting ready for our next basketball game. And we know it's another tough road game for us, so we got to be up to it and be ready to go at it and try to play as hard as we can, and then we'll see what happens.
Other ACC action today, Duke on the road taking on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. First half, Josh Howard. Demons come out gunning, 16-8, Wake Forest leads. Then Chris Carroll bringing Duke right back. That's a three-pointer, 23-20 Blue Devils. Move to the second half, Shane Battier getting in on the act. He knocks down the jump shot, 52-43, Duke leads. Then after the miss, watch Carlos Boozer. I don't know if he got his hands on that one, but he got credit for the points. 61-52 Blue Devils. Then Boozer definitely gets credit for this one with the dunk, 75-61. The Duke wins. Other basketball action tonight, both the FAMU men and women losing to Delaware State. The women by 3 and the men by 6. On over at TCC at the Eagle Dome, the men improving their conference record to 3-2 with a 112-82 win over Gulf Coast. Antoine Jones had 29 for the Eagles. The women did not fare as well. They lose 52-45. Well, it is now officially official. Florida State Seminoles are the 1999 national champions. Of course, we've known this since January 4th, but it really doesn't count until you have the celebration in the team's hometown. Today, the Seminoles players and coaches gathered with thousands of Florida State fans to commemorate the team's Sugar Bowl victory over Virginia Tech. Fans were treated to highlight videos, and they got to hear from Chris Winkie, Corey Simon, and head coach Bobby Bowden. The highlight was the unveiling of the championship banner that will hang in the north end zone. It was a good show for the fans, and it was a great way for the players to give something back to their coach.
It's very special. I mean, a part of what we've all been through has been for Coach Bowden. We wanted him to go out like this. We wanted this senior class to go out like this. We've been through too much this year. We've given him enough headaches. We wanted him to enjoy it.
It was really exciting. I was telling earlier, it was really an honor to be a part of the epic that was this football season. And, Coach Bowden declared us, the best team ever to play with Florida State. That's an honor.
Well, it was a great turnout. We won a national championship in '93. We had a very nice parade on the Capitol steps there. But this was great here. I don't know how many they had there, but it was a great crowd.
As the Seminoles were celebrating, other college football players were busy trying to win a job in the pros. Some of the top seniors in the country were in Hawaii today for the annual Hula Bowl. The NFL draft is in April, and some of these guys looking to improve their stock. One guy who doesn't need much help is Wisconsin running back Ron Dane, uncorking the 9-yard touchdown run right there, ties the game up at 7 apiece. In the third, Curtis Keaton from 1 yard out, South rolling, 21-7. In the fourth quarter now, North coming back. Thomas Hamner with the touchdown run ties it up at 28. 3 seconds left to go in the game, and Jimmy Kibble looking for the win. Not today. That one's blocked. And we end in a 28-28 final. Well, tomorrow in Jacksonville, the Jaguars need to find a way to do something they didn't do during the regular season, beat the Tennessee Titans. The Jags want to make it to their first Super Bowl in franchise history, but they also want to prove to people that they are just as good as Tennessee.
We're facing a pretty good football team, a team that has given us some problems this year. It certainly is a motivating factor for us, knowing that up to this point they've had our number.
This game's going to be decided this weekend over a 60-minute ball game. That's what's at stake. So, if you're going to draw into that, you can maybe use it to help install a sense of confidence in one club or the other. But other than that, it really makes no difference. I mean, this.
Over the NFC, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in St. Louis to play the Rams, and this game comes down to the Bucs' defense against the Rams' offense. Nobody has been able to slow the Rams down, especially at home. St. Louis is a perfect 9-0 at the Trans World Dome this season, and Tony Dungy knows he'll have to pull out all of the stops to get his team into the Super Bowl.
I think it's going to be a classic matchup. You got a big play, explosive team that has a lot of speed versus a defense that's aggressive and plays sound, and we have a lot of speed too. And I think it's going to be fun for people who really like football to watch that matchup.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of nerves and a lot of thoughts going through my mind, but nothing different that's gone through my mind in all the previous games. Every Saturday night, a little more restless than other nights, getting anxious about the game, and I don't expect it to be any different this week.
I will admit I am a St. Louis Rams fan. I've been a Rams fan all my life, and the Buccaneers are 14-point underdogs in that game, but I don't really think they should be 14-point underdogs. I think the game is going to be a lot closer than a 14-point spread. I think the Buccaneers actually do have a chance to win that one.
So you're looking for two really good games tomorrow?
I think they would. I think they will be. I think the Jaguars will finally play competitively against the Titans. They did it early on in the season, but of course that second game was a blowout in Tennessee. So the Jaguars should get the job done. Hopefully things go well in the second game.
Football fans take note.
Exactly.
Well, a final check on Sunday's forecast is still ahead, and this structure is the chip off the old block, the old ice block, that is. That's next on ABC News Channel 27, where news is first.
At Prince Automotive, your loyalty to us does matter.
That's why current owners of General Motors vehicles will receive an extra $500 towards the purchase of any new Chevrolet.
That means you'll receive a $2,500 rebate on all Chevy Suburbans.
And $1,500 rebate on all Chevy Tahoes.
You can drive home in the Chevy STM with automatic transmission for only $12,300.
Or this full-size Chevy Silverado for only $16,600.
We're the Chevy store that saves you more.
We're Prince Chevrolet, located in Tifton and Valdosta.
Isn't it time you got out of town? At previewtravel.com, find great rates on airlines, hotels, vacation packages, and cruises. Get the scoop from experts and travelers just like you. Even contact customer service agents around the clock every day. Discover a better way to travel. For exclusive offers, email us today. previewtravel.com, one site, endless possibilities.
You've spent a full day at work, and now it's time for dinner.
This chicken is just ready to pop in the oven.
Those ready-made meals from the grocery store are fast and easy, but are they safe? ABC News Channel 27 checks that ready-to-eat meal deal to see if you're getting more than you bargained for.
It was surprising.
See if you're serving a ready-made risk. Join Steve Ring and Tammy Roboconti Tuesday at 6 and 11 on ABC News Channel 27, where news is first.
I think that she's a liar. Yes, ma'am. But let's say I did believe her. This man proposed to you, said, I love you and I'd like to marry you.
She said yes to the money, no to the ring.
I didn't want to get married. So why did you continue to take money from him?
I didn't have any money.
What difference does it make? You go out and you collect cans and you give back your cell phone. You don't use somebody.
Justice with an attitude.
Judge Judy, Monday at 4 on ABC News Channel 27.
Mike's going to tell us maybe a little rain.
Yeah, some chances for rain. Hey, bring it on. Azalea bushes are blooming and they need some water. How's that for January weather? 45 at 8 a.m. Chances for rain come up. Mostly cloudy, maybe even the rumble of thunder. Especially some rain showers tomorrow night. Tomorrow's temperatures top out right around 68. Enjoy.
Well, have you seen the ice castle the folks in Spicer, Minnesota have crafted? They have a tradition there of using a 50-year-old machine each winter to build their ice castle. Their loosely knit group, the We Cut Ice Company, has dreams of one day building the biggest ice castle in the world. This one will likely remain there throughout the winter, and I wouldn't be surprised if they can accomplish that feat. That's a pretty good-sized ice castle right there.
Man.
And pretty, too.
Look at that.
I'm thinking those guys probably win the snowball fight with that fort, too.
They probably
don't want to
would.
mess with them.
No doubt.
That little pile of snow that you're firing snowballs over doesn't look compared to much to a
That's right.
an ice castle with turrets and towers and drawbridge and
A lot of
all that good
protection.
stuff. Sure, a lot of fun.
That's our broadcast for this evening. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later. I'm Bob Trotter for Mike Nicholson, and I started to say Seth Grossman,
Yeah,
but it's
well,
Sean Woodland.
I'll answer to that too.
Good night. I started to say that because
Right now, when you choose from the lowest priced minivan to the ultimate, you can get $1,500 cash allowance or 0.9% APR, which means you can save over $4,700 in finance charge savings on Chrysler Town & Country and the popular Voyager. Now, get $1,500 cash allowance or 0.9% APR on all minivans.
Pay off your holiday shopping. Log on to eru.com and win.
Getting a new car is a kick, but
There are questions. Should I get this option? Can I afford that option? Do I even have an option? Introducing the Civic Value Package Sedan. Complete with a keyless entry system, air conditioning, automatic transmission, a CD player, and more. Isn't life wonderful when the options aren't extra?
Now get special APR financing as low as 4.9% for 36 months on all new Civics.
The following is a paid presentation by Guthrie Ranker for Proactive Solution.
Hello, I'm Judith Light. In the last